Hi guys, I'm welcome to Prediction Week 37 and we start with the kick-off tomorrow at 8 o'clock, Everton versus Burnley. Going to be a bit of a tough test, Burnley are still fighting at the moment, but it is at Goodison Park, so I'm going to give the victory to Everton. I think it's going to be a tight, close game. I'm going to go Everton 2, Burnley 1. On to Saturday's fixtures at 12:30, we have Bournemouth versus Tottenham. Again, a bit of a tough test for Tottenham, going to Bournemouth. And obviously losing to West Ham last week. But I'm going to go again for a tight win for Tottenham. I'm going to go Bournemouth 1, Tottenham 2. Onto the 3 o'clock kickoffs, we have West Ham versus Southampton. Obviously a good result for West Ham against Tottenham last week. Bit of a different kind of game, bit of a different setup to this one. Again, Southampton are still fighting at the moment. I'm going to go for a tight draw. I'm going to go West Ham 1, Southampton 1. We then have Wolves versus Fulham. Obviously, Fulham have already been relegated and we'll be playing Championship football next season. So they're just playing for pride now. But again, a lot of pressure on Wolves at the moment, because obviously everyone will be expecting them to win. I do think they'll win. But I'm going to go for a close one. I'm going to go Wolves 2, Fulham 1. At 5:30, we have Cardiff versus Crystal Palace. Again, Cardiff again fighting at the moment. Palace, they're more or less safe, but I'm going to go for a really, really lively, entertaining game. I think two teams that are terrible at the back, but two teams that like to attack. So I'm going to go Cardiff 2, Crystal Palace 2. On Saturday night at 7:45, we have Newcastle versus Liverpool. Obviously, Liverpool getting closer to their title race, but Man City keep winning as well. So it is going to go right down to the wire, I think. Again, this is going to be a tough test for Liverpool, going up at Newcastle, especially on a Saturday night. It's going to be a hot crowd. It's going to be hard. It's probably the last place you want to be going to, really, when you're in a title race and you're a couple of wins away. I'm going to give it to Liverpool, but again, I think it's going to be a tough test. This is going to show what kind of characters they've got in their team, if it was never in doubt anyway. But as I say, I think they'll overcome that, and I do think that they will beat Newcastle. So I'm going to go Newcastle 1, Liverpool 2. On to Sunday's fixtures at 2 o'clock, we have Chelsea versus Watford. And again, I think Watford could cause some problems for Chelsea. I'm not sure if Troy Deeney's back for this game, but I do think Chelsea aren't looking great. They got away with last week. They played terrible, to be fair. Well, they were okay in the second half. They improved in the second half in the Man U game, but in the first half there was just nothing there. And obviously, I think they only scored due to De Gea's mistake. I think if David De Gea doesn't make that mistake, I don't think Chelsea would have got that draw last week. So it's not looking good for Chelsea at the moment. So I'm going to go Chelsea 1, Watford 1. The other game at 2 o'clock is Huddersfield versus Manchester United. Obviously, Huddersfield have already been relegated. They were playing Championship football next season. Again, Manchester United, they had a bit of a better side to them on Sunday against Chelsea, but I do agree with Gary Neville. That's the best that Manchester United's got, and they couldn't even beat Chelsea. But I do think they will beat Huddersfield, so I'm going to go Huddersfield 0, Manchester United 1. At 4:30, we have Arsenal versus Brighton. Obviously, Arsenal having an absolutely awful game last week to Leicester. Losing 3-0. It's almost like, when they go 1-0 down, they're just absolutely, they're just ball to pieces. I think DT said, Arsenal's defence is like chocolate. It starts off as a chocolate bar and then they go 1-0 down, it just melts in the sun. And that's exactly what our defence is. Again, I think Brighton will cause us a couple of, problems. I think they'll get a goal out of us. But I'm going to go for Arsenal to nick it because it is at home. I'm going to go Arsenal 2, Brighton 1. And at 8 o'clock on Monday, we have Manchester City versus Leicester. Obviously, Leicester having a great win against Arsenal last week. But this is a different test, obviously. I think they'll give a bit of a good go to Manchester City, but I think Manchester City will be far too strong for them. I'm going to go Manchester City 3, Leicester 1. So that's my predictions for this weekend, guys. And next week will be the deadline, the last day of the season predictions. And we'll talk more about that next week. So until then, thank you for watching, guys.